Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to review the Volk Vintage, which is a variant of the Volk which was added in around Christmas time with the Recoil update. I only got it on Monday from the Luck of the Irish hack. I was really hoping for the XE on Horizon, but I got this instead, which is very nice, but it is identical to the Volk Retro, so this is kind of a Volk Retro review as well, which came out during the Days of Summer event, but I never did a review on that. Basically, the Volk Vintage is literally identical to the Volk Retro, but it can take a camo now, so if you didn't want to use the Volk Retro because you have Black Sky or something and you wanted to use Black Sky on it, you can now do that with the Volk Vintage and it's the exact same gun. So it's pretty nice in that regard. I'm definitely happy to have it, but I'm going to do a full review. It's a bit different from how I usually do reviews for IW variants, because what I usually do is I go over the perks, the aesthetics and my opinion of the gun. This time it's going to be perks, multiplayer, recoil, aesthetics, zombies, and then my conclusion. So I hope it turns out okay, but we'll get started. So the first section is perks, and the epic perk is Ballistic Conversion Kit. The description says, it's an enthusiast weapon mod that converts an energy weapon to ballistic, providing additional stability and speed for the first couple of shots. What this means is that the Volk now uses ballistic rounds as in actual bullets instead of energy rounds. This means that the bullets now penetrate cover. They use ballistic attachments like extended mags and hollow point instead of fusion mags and Faraday slug. So it converts the Volk into being a ballistic weapon instead of being an energy weapon. And it also makes it so the gun shoots faster for the first 3 shots and has less recoil for the first 3 shots. But overall I found that the Volk actually, after those first 3 shots, the base Volk actually has less recoil than the Vintage. So it's not like that big of a deal, it's not that much recoil, it's not that big of a difference, but at the same time it's definitely noticeable. The second perk is Steady, which is the common perk, and what this does is just reduces your fire spread. So it's definitely nice to have, but it's not going to make or break the gun basically. In multiplayer this gun's pretty good. The first 3 shots are slightly faster and do have less recoil, but it's not that noticeable in multiplayer. It definitely does make a difference, I would say, but at the same time it's not, it's not the main selling point for this gun I found, but it's definitely nice to have. It still has 28 bullets in a mag, but you can take extended mags now, which is obviously very nice as well. Faraday slug and hollow point is basically the exact same thing, so I don't think there's any difference in those 2 attachments, but they just have different names because energy ballistic. So yeah, but the gun is very good. It now penetrates cover, as I said already, so instead of bouncing off of walls and stuff, it now shoots through walls. I've definitely got a couple of kills just shooting through cover. Like, I'll get 3 shots on someone, then shoot someone through cover for the 4th shot and kill them with it. So it does definitely get you a few kills, but yet again, it's not going to make or break the gun basically. I would say that this gun is different enough to be classified as its own weapon, I would say, because it is definitely very similar to the Volk in the fact that the fire rate's basically the same and the damage I think is the same as well, but the fact that it shoots faster for the first 3 shots is actually cool with the first 3 shots, has more recoil overall, and also shoots ballistic rounds instead of energy rounds. I do think that's enough to make the Volk Vintage basically its own kind of gun. So I would say the Volk Vintage isn't really better than the normal Volk. I would definitely say it's better than like the Goliath or something, in my opinion. The Volk Retro and Vintage aren't better than the normal Volk, and the normal Volk isn't better than the ballistic versions either. It's definitely, I like both equally, so it's a different experience. It's a different gun, but I wouldn't say either of them are better than each other. As for recoil, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the recoil tests in here because I don't have much to say about this, but basically, without foregrip, the Volk base variant does have quite random recoil. It goes side to side quite a bit. It also goes up and down the wall really, really strange. The first test, it basically was really accurate and stayed in the same sort of area and just did a circle. But with the second test, it just went straight up the wall, so I'm not really sure how that works. Both of the ballistic versions, the Retro and Vintage are the exact same, but the recoil is different, it's just because it's random. But basically, they do seem to have more vertical recoil, less side-to-side recoil, which is nice because it means you can control the recoil a bit better, but with foregrip, the recoil for all of those versions, for both the ballistic and the energy versions, does seem to reduce by quite a bit and makes it a lot more controllable, so I would highly recommend using foregrip because it does help quite a bit. So I would say that's about it for recoil, but if you're wondering, I don't know how I'm going to display this section, but basically there should be 6 tests on the wall. The left 3 are no foregrip and the right 3 are with foregrip, and basically from the left it's normal Volk, then Retro, then Vintage, and then it should be them with foregrip in the exact same order. So that's how I've done that, but basically it seems to have quite a bit of reduction with foregrip. Definitely highly recommend using foregrip, and they do seem to have more recoil to the ballistic versions, but it is more linear than horizontal. For aesthetics, I think, because I have the Mark II version so I can't actually see the camo, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same model as the base Volk. However, because it is the base Volk model, because the Goliath and the Corruption both have different models in the base Volk, the fact that it is the base Volk means that I can have a Mark II Epic camo on it, and the version that I have is the Mark II Epic version, so it actually looks really nice with the Mark II Epic camo. Now, I might just be being weird here, but I actually think it looks really nice with the Mark II Epic camo, so I know I said it's nice to have a camo on it, but at the same time, the Mark II camo looks really nice on it. I just didn't get any gameplay with it, but if you do have the Mark II version, definitely try it with just the Epic Mark II camo because it looks really nice. But as far as the actual weapon model goes, I'm pretty sure it's just identical to the base Volk because the Retro does have the exact same model as base Volk, it just has a camo applied. As for zombies, I would say overall it is better than the base Volk, however not by that much. I am going to go like round by round basically, or I'm going to go through each different stage of the gun. So without bang bangs, it's okay to like round 6 or 7, at which point you're kind of like, if I keep using this gun I'm going to die. But it's very good for points, and it's definitely, I would say if you just want purely points, use the normal Volk because it is more of a pea shooter, but the Vintage does seem to do a bit more damage. It can survive until like round 6 or 7, at which point you basically have to buy bang bangs. With bang bangs you can go to round 15 and, well, 15 or 16, probably go a bit further than what I went to, but basically at 15 I pack punched because it wasn't doing it for me anymore. So I pack punched around 15, and the packed version seems to double your ammo count. So I had 45 bullets in a mag, I think, without double packing, or without packing at least, because I had extend the mags on. So packing gave me 90 rounds and 630 in reserve, I think, so that's like 75 bullets in total. So from round 15 until about like round 18 or 19, the ammo in that can survive you the whole way because you get a max ammo from the Krogs, and it also kills the zombies relatively quickly. It doesn't really pea shoot until around 20 or 21, so around 21 I really felt as though I needed to pack punch again because it just wasn't, it was pea shooting again, so I kind of was like, you know what, I need to pack punch. So I double packed, and this didn't seem to improve the damage, so I was still dealing with the single pack version's damage. However, it did give me 117 rounds in a mag instead of 90, so there was a lot more ammo. This was definitely good, however it still was pea shooting, and I eventually went down around 23 because I was just trying to like see if it would actually kill any zombies in a horde. It didn't do it very well, and I kind of just died, so yeah. But I would definitely say it is better than the base Volk for zombies, however at the same time it's definitely not better than like the Sentinel Butchers or the Pack Punch Cannons or something. You're definitely better off using those, but if you want a nice point building gun which still can kill zombies until about round 20, the Volk is basically, the Volk Vintage is a lot better than the Volk, I would say, in the later rounds at least. So in conclusion, I would say that the Volk Vintage and Retro, I guess, are very good variants in multiplayer, and overall they're very good variants, but in multiplayer they're very good, and I would say they can be classified as their own guns in a certain sense. Mainly just because I like both versions. I like both the ballistic and energy versions of the Volk the same, and what the Vintage and the Retro basically do is just, they are what the Volk could have been if it was ballistic instead of energy. So it isn't really better, it's just a different experience. So I would definitely say, if you like the Volk, definitely try to get this gun because it is definitely very fun to use, and it is definitely, it is the Volk, but it is a different experience than using the energy Volk. So it is definitely very good multiplayer, and I wouldn't say it's better than the Volk, but it is definitely, a different experience. In zombies, it definitely isn't the best variant or anything like that. If you're thinking, oh, I want the Volk Vintage for zombies because it's so good, it isn't. It's slightly better than the base Volk, and it can survive till around to about around 23 or 24 double packed, and with bang bangs and all the perks in the game. At which point it's like, yeah, I should probably like spin the magic wheel and get a better gun because any gun's gonna be better than this. So the Vintage is better than the base Volk in zombies, I would say. However, it still isn't a very good variant. Or it still isn't, it doesn't make the Volk amazing, basically is what I'm saying. So yeah, in zombies, not so good. In multiplayer, it's a different experience than normal Volk, and it's a very good gun to use. So yeah, overall I would say, if it ever becomes available for purchase with salvage, if you like the Volk, definitely get it for multiplayer, but don't get it for zombies because it's still a pea shooter. So that's about it, but before I end the video, I just want to say that I'm trying out a new layout with my weapon reviews and stuff, because I recently did a Destiny 2 Sunshot review, and I actually quite liked the way I did the layout in that, where I went for all the perks that the gun had, then I went through PvE and PvP and, you know, did like the aesthetics of the gun as well, and in my opinion at the very end. So I'm trying to do that sort of layout with Infinite Warfare variants now, but if there's any way I can improve the video or anything you think I should cover in addition to this, please let me know in the comments, because I'm definitely still improving with this sort of thing, so please help me out. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Bye.